lads, one rock, we don't back up. Scrum down, big chat, turn the mics up. Loose bones, we lift the pace up. Ruck, rule talk, never made up. Two lads, one rock, that's game on. From the grass to the pot, like stay on.
Bloody fuming. I spent 11 minutes recording, and yeah, and I had a big issue with the microphone. So yeah, I did about 11 minutes, and as I sort of glanced down to look at the microphone, and it was red. So when it means red, it means, one, it's not connected. Two, it's run out of battery. And this is the issues I've had since Benny's not been here. But basically, what we're getting into is the hot topic of England's training selection yesterday. And I did quite a good video, but when I played it back, the video was going for sort of 11 minutes. And so I played it back, and the video, I think it went up to about 2.5 minutes. And then obviously I hadn't realised that the microphone had cut out. So it was quite a good video, actually. It's probably one of the best ones I did. But anyway, we're going to get into it. If you'd be so kind to subscribe on YouTube and Spotify. We're currently on 86. We need 14 to get us to that first goal that me and Benny had set out to begin with. And that was to get 100 subscribers. And I'm getting a bit paranoid now. As you can see, I keep looking down at the bloody microphone. But yeah, if you could help me out at 2 Lads 1 Ruck on YouTube and Spotify, would much appreciate the support. And we're ever wanting to grow this channel. We get a lot of good messages from people who we know personally, and we've had a few random ones from other people who are in the game as well, whether it be professional or not. And it started out as a hobby, and it's going to continue being a hobby. But if one day, forever, whatever freak reason, we get, I don't know, a sponsor or enough subscriptions to start getting paid, still be a hobby, because it's something that me and Benny enjoy, to be fair. And it's something that we look forward to. It's something we love. It's something we talk about. And like I said, it's coming up 18 years in October, I believe. I don't know, Benny, you need to correct me. And yeah, been good mates. And that's what rugby's all about. We've had some good times. We've had some funny times. And we've also had some lows, whether it's been personal or whether it's issues on the pitch where for some reason your game's just not playing, or your injuries. In my case, the body is gone and the brain is not. It's that I don't know whether a lot of professionals get the same. Obviously, I'm never a professional. I never got anywhere near semi-professional, but it's for the love of the game. It's a struggle because my mind's there, but my body is not. But I'm going to give it one more season. I keep saying this, but I want to play a minimum more than, I'd say 60 to 70% of the games. If I can get 60 or 70% of the games this season, I'll be happy. I'm obviously aiming for 100 because I don't want to let the boys down, but a lot of last season I let boys down. Some of it was personal, and a lot of it was injury, but it's never in my intentions to let you boys down. But anyway, let's go. Just check in. Let's get into the video. So enough of that stuff. You don't want to be hearing that. But anyway, so yesterday, Steve Borthwick announced his squad, and it's very exciting. I think he selected a 38-man squad. I'm not going to bore you and go through all of them. I'm just going to do sort of like honourable shout outs and just get into the nitty and gritty of it all. Sorry, you may catch me keep looking down at the video microphone. But some honourable shout outs who made the squad was McFarland and Bracken, two young scrum halves who deserve their chance. I think it's good that they're getting looked at by Steve. Brilliant on being around sort of like the best of the crop in England. Do I think they're going to be selected for the tour? Probably not. I think they're there probably for... you never know. He might shock us, and but I would say that your number 9 would be. Wow, it's hard to say because some people like Spencer, and some people like JVP, and some people like. And it's gone off the top of my head. Mitchell, there it is. I'm so bad. But yeah, Alex Mitchell's probably your number 1. Then Spencer. Don't know. I think Borthwick likes JVP quite a lot. So I think that he's probably going to be number 2 in the tour this year. I think. Could be wrong. But the fly halves are unchanged. There's a few changes in prop. Ben Urbano's back in the England setup. Just hope that he doesn't get injured in the meantime, because he's just been so unlucky with injury every time it comes to an England call-up. He always unfortunately gets injured, but he's one of the best props in the league at loosehead for sure. And then another loosehead young lad, Asher Apoku for jaw, is another decent. He's another decent loosehead. Is he quite ready yet? Who knows? You got to give him a go. But fun fact is that he played in Oxford Ace League, which they play their games at our home ground at Oxford. And we've watched him a few times, and I watched him a few times, and oh man, he was like levels above. The Ace League is like it's not academy, but it's like the next best thing, and he's been picked up and he's ran with it. But you could see it when we was watching him. He was like 17 years old, and he was a giant. Like, I just couldn't believe how big some of these lads actually are at 17. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, anyway, locks. There's some good locks in there. You got Chesham, you got Itoje, the usual, Nick Ezekwe, and Alex Coles. Who else? I can't remember. But this is why I didn't want to go through it, because it would be too much for me to remember. Back row, bit light, but I think it's the usual suspects of Pollock, Earl, Chandler Cunningham, South, Tom Curry, and Guy Pepper. So it's like the usuals. Oh, and a surprise selection for me, which I didn't see coming, was Alex Dombrandt. Sorry, I'm just going to turn the lights on. I don't know if it makes a difference. I'm in the changing rooms. I thought I'd change it up today. Punt. Fly halves are unchanged. The centres are a bit contentious. You got Seb Atkinson, Fraser Dingwall, Henry Slade. Love seeing Henry Slade back. He's had a phenomenal season for Exeter. Probably the best rugby he's played in since probably 2019 World Cup, I think, for club and country. I think it's good that he's got picked again for England. I think he's been class. But no Ajomo and no Lawrence, but I don't know if that's injury. And this is what we're going to get into now. I don't like the fact that Jesse van Rensburg has been selected through residency. Personally, I disagree with it. I know Benny doesn't like it. I know a lot of people don't like it. I think I spoke to him last night through message and was like, "What's your thoughts?" And he said, "Well, you know what my thoughts are." And I went, "Yeah, I know." He said, "What do you think?" And I said, "I'm against it. You know, I am. I don't like it. I think, especially with like the contentions of like um, the if you were born in England but you go and play in France, let's just say as an example, or anywhere but England, let's just say, you're not allowed to be selected, but yet you are able to select someone who comes over to England, plays in England, and qualifies through a residency rule. And I get it; it's a 5-year transition, so that's a long time not to be playing international rugby. But however, it is not good because let's be truthfully honest, he probably would have never got into South Africa's setup. He would have been probably fifth, sort of like, he would have been like between 8th and 10th choice centre in South Africa. And that's why he's done it. We all know that. It's the same with Van der Merwe. He was the same. I think like the issue that the South Africans got, they could probably put out 4 to 5 different players in each position because of how strong their depth is. And I think a lot of the South African lads are going elsewhere. You've got it in France. There's a few South African boys there. You got them in Italy. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it, but I get it. I get why the Safa boys are doing it, but it's not my cup of tea. What's your thoughts? Let us know. But some people might agree with it and some people might not agree with it. But if you're going to do the residency rule selection, you should scrap the rule, the outdated rule that if you don't play in England, you're not up for selection. I think that's utter bollocks. I think it's a crap rule. It should never be in place. You don't see it in football. The English FA wouldn't go to likes of Harry Kane or Jude Bellingham going, you can't go and play in France or Spain because it will mean that you won't be able to play for England football. No, it makes them a better player. Like, you look at South Africa, they got players all over the world. They had been the best team for probably the last 10 years, 9, 10 years. Why can't we do it? I know Wales got another silly rule where I think it was 50 caps or some. It might be wrong. Let me know what it was, but I think they've reduced it to 25. But there shouldn't be a cap rule. I think another thing that annoys me is sort of being a bit of a negative Nancy here, but another rule that annoys me is like the Prem or the French players. So, like for instance, like a few players that play for Wales would, or Scotland or whoever, would on a week off, say like if there was a 2-week period where Six Nations wasn't on, the player that played for Scotland Wales would have to go back to their representative clubs, sorry, getting my words mixed up, and then have to go and play a game that supposedly you'd have 2 weeks off and then go back to international duty just because you play in the Prem and they won't release them. Like, why can football do it? Like, it just makes no sense. And they're doing it on a commercial basis as, oh, but we want the best players to play for our club rugby because we're the ones that pay their wages. Yes, you do. However, I think by having international players go away and obviously just concentrate on their countries, I think you're stopping your young talent come through. You're taking away their possible games, them getting reps in, getting the understanding of what it's like to play at the professional level. I just think that you're stopping yourself from picking players. I just think that you should be able to play in any country at any time, and that when international duty is open, I think that you should be released, and I don't think that you should have to come back and then play and then go back to it. No, that shouldn't be the case. That's not. It's like, it's mental. It's mental. I don't agree with it. What do you think? Let me know. This is type of conversations that me and Benny have, and we could go. We can message for hours, or we can sit and talk for hours about it. There's a lot of things, but yeah, I'm not for Jesse van Rensburg. I don't think. I think he might be a failed experiment, if I'm honest. I think it's a big ask to jump from Prem to international. I think he's like 29 or 30. I just, what, and you've got a Joma and Lawrence who are under 25 or 25, who are coming up to their prime. Why not give them the reps? Why not give those boys a go? Or there's got to be other centres in England. You just got to give them reps. That's just my opinion. I hope Jesse van Rensburg proves me wrong, but I just don't agree with the selection. Sorry, mate. You're never going to see this, but you know. You never know. I don't agree with it. So notable other selections, we had Adam Radwan. I spoke about it last week. I was like, because I did a reaction to one of the tries where JVP, obviously he was communicating to JVP about putting a sort of a grubber stroke low kick through, and he went on and scored a try, and I said, I can't believe Steve Borthwick hasn't had him in England camp. And it's like Steve listened to me. He definitely didn't. He probably never even heard of this podcast. Could you imagine though? But yeah, I'm so pleased for Radwan. I think a lot of lads that I speak to about rugby gutted that he doesn't get in. Another one I think that's honourable that didn't get selected is Ollie Hassel-Collins. He's had a good season, and it's a shame that he's not been selected. And yeah, it's a shame. Do I think he'll make it to the summer games this year? No, probably not. Probably not, because when you got Manny Feaboso and Tommy Freeman, and then you got a backup of Thomas Roebuck, Caden Murley, and I'm trying to think who else. Noah Calori's a winger, but I think they're looking at him as more of a 15, I believe. I could be totally talking out my arse. But yeah, a bit light on centres because there's only 4. So I don't think Freeman. I don't know. Does it work? Does he need more reps? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Freeman for centre, or do you think just keep him on the wing and let him play? It's quite an interesting thought to have. Like, England got so many wingers. Like, there's notably players that haven't been selected. Like, you've got Ollie Hassel-Collins, you've got Will Muir, and you've got, who else you've missing that? You've got the Exeter lad who's also does a podcast. I can't remember his name. I don't want to butcher it, but it's something Brown. Let me know in the comments. Correct me, because correct me. He's had a good season. Who else has had a good season that's missing? Trying to think who else winger wise. I think that's it. But England have got so much depth at wingers. I think it's one of the key good positions that England have got. I think the one position they do struggle is fullbacks, and because of George Fairbank being injured most of this season, stroke partly last season, I think it's been quite noticeable that we struggle, and I think that Noah Calori is probably going to be a long-term selection at 15. He's got every attribute. he is, if not currently, because he's got to do it over longevity, but he is almost carbon copy, identical to Israel Folau. Like that leap in the air. He's 6'5". He's got pace. He's got a step. He's got everything. And I'm sorry, Freddie Stewart, but he's got everything that you haven't got. I think he offers so much more. I think your number one at the moment would be George Furbank. He's been quite class recently for Northampton Saints. But it'd be interesting. It's interesting because, like, a lot of these lads might not even get in to like the final squad to go on summer tours. It might be that the likes of Ollie Lawrence and Max Ajomo go through in the end, and it might be that the likes of Jesse Van Rensburg and whatnot doesn't get selected. Do I think that one of the young lads will replace Ben Spencer? Yes, I think so. Unfortunately, I think that they're going to look to the future, and I think that McFarland is just edging Bracken at the minute. If I'm honest, like overall, he has been phenomenal this season, and at times he's kept Alex Mitchell out of the team, which is quite something. If you're being selected in front of the England's number one, or England's perceived number one scrum half, trying to think, there's not a lot else, but be interesting. The Welsh team, they got 49 players, and it's something that I'm going to have a look at later and do a video on it, because I think Wales are slowly keep looking because this will be where it hasn't fucking recorded. Yeah, getting pissed off recently about this. But it's interesting to see the Welsh squad, 49 men. There's a few admissions, but I think some of that might be injury. It'd be good to delve into. I just need to have a look at it. It's something that Benny is keen on, obviously because he's a huge Welsh fan. If you didn't already know, he lets everybody know that his family are from Wales. Sorry, mate. But no, it's something that Benny's a big advocate for is Welsh rugby. Loves it, loves Ospreys. We've had a game at Ospreys and it was a good day out. Wow, we went to Scarlets. It was a good day out. It was good to see. But there was one player that I know for sure that didn't get selected was Harry Deeves. He was a standout player when Ospreys played Scarlets at Boxing Day. And I said to Benny, I was like, I'm surprised he's not in the Welsh team. And then, bugger me old, he made it in the Six Nations squad, but I don't think he's in the training squad this time. I don't know if it's injuries, but it will be interesting to see the Welsh squad and go through that. So yeah, I've put out a call for help, waiting for someone to respond. But yeah, I think we'll wrap this up, and just let us know your thoughts. Leave a comment if you've got this far. Thank you. We need all the watch minutes possible, but without the watch minutes, we need the subscriptions. Help me get to 100 before Benny gets back. Back at the end of June, so I've got 14 more subscribers to get before he comes back. Please help me.
Two lads, one rock. We don't back up. Scrum down. Big cat, turn the mics up. Loose bones, read a bit of pace up. Ruck, rule talk, never made up. Two lads, one rock. That's game on. From the grass to the pot, like stay on.